Welcome in. Take her away.
We're live?
Take her away, buddy.
Hello there. I'm Straw Hat Lucas, helmsman of the Last Ark, and we are joined today by a lovely bunch of people to interview the one, the only, Hime, mostly known from the Chibi Girls and being one of the nicest content creators in the game. But first, let's introduce the crew, shall we? We have I'm the helmsman, shipwright of the Last Ark, Fritz the Ditz. How are we doing today, Fritz?
We are doing excellent. It is a wonderful day. Weather's been nice, at least for us.
Beautiful, beautiful. Next up, we have live from Jaya for the first time ever on the Last Ark channel, the cutest chibi girl I know, Kube of the Red Sea. Kube, how we doing today, Uncle?
What up, everyone? I'm happy to be here. Yeah, like Lucas said, I'm live from Jaya, but I had to be there for a Hime interview. That's for sure, but I'm very hyped, guys.
Cube looking fresh as hell, by the way.
Yes. It's always good to see you on camera, brother. And last but certainly not least, the GOAT herself, the legendary power scale taker of all time, Hime. How are we doing today?
Hello, I'm doing super good. I'm super excited for this event, and yeah, I'm honored to be here.
Good. Now I'm about to grill you. No, I jest. Uh-oh.
All good?
Cube. Yeah, Cube, I sent you the interview questions, didn't I?
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Good, because they deleted off my phone. I'm just glad.
Yeah, and also for Fritz has a version of it as well. So you want me to send it back to you?
No, I got it right here. All right, so Hime.
Yes.
Starting out our little interview, before we talk about One Piece, I want to talk about just some slightly personal questions, okay? Letting the people know the real Hime.
Yes.
So,
of course.
Yeah. So, what did you do? Like, obviously, you probably still have some kind of employment. What did you do, like, or what are you doing now before content creation?
So, I'm going to make like a small resume like of everything, because like otherwise it would be too long. So I studied architecture. I have a degree in it, and then I went into software engineering, and I'm now a software engineer, and I code iOS mobile apps for companies, and I still do that as my main job. And content creation is just like for now, like it's like on the side, more of a hobby that I do. Also, like I kind of do it like as if I was full time. So I do both of them. That's what I'm doing.
Well versed. Dang.
Yeah, very well said. Yeah, I work 50-hour work weeks and full-time content creation, so I get the grind and I respect it. Yes. And what was it? And what got you started out on content creation?
Honestly, it's kind of I feel like suddenly it's from like a bad moments in my life, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. So I was like on an unhappy relationship, and I just like like everything was a bit like blurry. I felt like kind of empty, and I saw TikTok and I was like, oh, let me just like make a TikTok for fun. And then I made a TikTok, and then it got some traction. I made others, and like and my thing was that I was dating somebody who wasn't into anime at all, and also like all of his friends. Like I couldn't relate to anybody about anime. I couldn't talk to anybody about One Piece or anything. I always had to like keep it to myself. So when I started making anime TikToks and stuff, like I had like a lot of people interact with me, and then I was like, oh my god, there's a whole community out there. And it's just like with time, I connected with amazing content creators. One of them was Chestnut, and she also pushed me to like do more content and be more like consistent with it, and it just like got us here now, where like I do it like almost like I do daily posts, and I do podcasts and stuff, and it just and oh, by the way, I'm not with the guy anymore, but just so you guys know. but yeah, so it all started from a bad moment in my life.
Yeah. That's wild too, because I know a lot of people who it's like I was at my lowest point in life, and then I just started going out there and doing.
You just want to find people who you can connect, bond with, and you can relate to, because I felt alone. I'm not even kidding with you. I felt alone in like my hobby, and then when I saw there was a world of people who like that, I was like, oh my god, I'm not alone.
One day I will tell you how I got into One Piece. I'm not going to do it because it kind of brings down streams when I do, but I'll tell you what I call my Nakama story. But yes. Moving right on, and that kind of segues perfectly into the next question that I have written out here, acting like there isn't a giant list of them. And that is, so you met Chestnut then through TikTok?
Yes, I met her through TikTok. It's kind of crazy. Like we went on a podcast together, and then we just started talking afterward together, like for like I don't know, like it just like connected well because also let's not forget like at the beginning, maybe now it's a bit less worse, but at the beginning there wasn't like a lot of like One Piece female content creators.
Yeah.
Like some of them, there's some of them, but most of them are like cosplayers, and like me and Chestnut like also some also do skits and theories, I guess, but like it's just like it's hard to find them, and we found each other, and we just like stayed friends, and we saw that like we were like not. We were just linking super good. The vibe was there, and we just decided to do a podcast together for fun, and it just like it worked. And now we're just besties online, so it's kind of crazy.
It is. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I love the chemistry between the Chibi girls. It is amazing.
Thank you.
You guys know perfectly how to bounce off of each other. Every time I hop into a live or on a stream on YouTube, it is just such a good time. And shout out to Chestnut because she always makes sure to wave at me and go, "Straw Hat Lucas." But yes, so being from a Lebanese family, how does your family feel about like your content and everything? Are they very supportive?
Yeah, honestly, like at the beginning they were like, "Oh, she's just like having fun, whatever, it's whatever." But now my mom, because I live with my mom, just context, I bought a house with my ex, and then we split up. We sold the house, and I went back to live with my mom. By the way, for immigrants families, it's normal to live with your parents, even if you're older.
Yes.
But and now like at the beginning she just thought it was like a small hobby, like a coping mechanism after like my breakup or something. But then but now like she supports it so much. She's like, "Are you live streaming today?" Or like she doesn't like she knows like when I live stream I always send her text so nobody like come inside of my room, or like sometimes she's like, "Oh," she talks about me to like our relatives. She's like, "Oh, do you know how many followers she has now?" Or like, "Oh, look at what she did." Oh, she's super supportive, and I love that. My brother also, my sister, everybody's super cool about it. So
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I think
amazing.
it's great that she is so excited for you and what you're doing. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that are do this kind of stuff or have done this stuff in the past, and people are like, "No, you should get serious about stuff." You're serious, but you're also doing the things you love, and that's amazing.
I think it's also from symptom from the fact it's also the fact that like I didn't also like just not use my degree. Like I'm also like I'm also like being a software engineer and like doing my stuff at my other job. So like it's not like I gave up everything, whatever. It's just I'm doing it on the side, and she's like, "Oh, this is like her hobby. It's fine." It's like some other people will read, will go out, will do sports. She does content creation.
No, it's really good. It's so wholesome, and also you were saying, it's normal, from your culture to still live with your parents. Just for everyone who judges that, remember this: Katakuri still lives with his mom, and he's almost 50 years old.
This is true. This is true.
Just say.
Yes.
But it is, and I like that you said about the whole like with immigrants, it's very normal. That's something because I told you before the stream, my stepfather's from Yemen that I could not get used to. Every time I'd have like last year I had some financial troubles and we lost the place we were sitting at. And my stepdad immediately he's like, move in here, bring the kids, move in here. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, it's nice to have that support system.
Yeah.
And then I have two more questions for you in the personal category before we move on to the One Piece questions. So, how many languages can you speak?
3. So the first one that I learned was French because I was born in the French Canadian part, and like school is all in French. The second one is Arabic, just because I'm Lebanese and we speak in Arabic at home, and also I lived 6 years in Lebanon, where I learned how to read, write, and talk. And the third one is English, which I learned by myself like 2 years ago, and I'm still learning. So that's like the one where I like the most. But yeah.
Your English is very fluent, by the way. For 2
thank
years
you.
speaking,
I
it's
tried.
very
Thank
fluent.
you.
Much more
you.
fluent than Cube.
No poke at him, all right? Come on now.
All right.
You're lucky that I'm in Jaya right now.
Yeah,
You're
I
lucky that
am.
I'm in Jaya right now.
Watch out. I heard there's a rubber dude punching people into the ground around there.
Yeah. For real.
Last one is kind of a big one, and I warned you about this before the stream. Is as a woman in content creation, you ever
Mhm.
face sexism or unwanted advances?
Yes. So unwanted advantage. Let's start with this one. Is kind of, to be fair, it's everywhere in your life, even like outside of content creation. So it just amplify in the content creation because like you get more attention, more traction, like more people trying to DM you and stuff like that. Like I already showed, like sometimes I show DMs, but like I blur the name because I don't want, like I do not condone bullying. So sometimes I show people, like I receive the craziest DMs. I could literally make like a book of like crazy DMs that I received. Some of them are funny. Some of them are funny, pick up like lines from One Piece or something like that. But some of them are very creepy. But for that, I guess as a woman, you get used to it, even if you're not a content creator. But now, when it comes to like sexism, it's really, really apparent. And just to put you guys in context, so like it doesn't. It doesn't affect me that much because again, engineering school, I was like one of the only girls in the class. It was like 95% men, so I was already used to men like looking a bit down on me, thinking that I'm not smart enough. Like if you're like if you look decent, not even necessarily super pretty or anything, if you look decent, they will normally think that you're not as smart as them, or like you're kind of dumb, and you know they end up talking to you and they're like, oh, I didn't know you were smart, you know, even if you have better grade than them. So it's just because like it's male dominant. So the same thing in anime, unfortunately, like it's changing, it's getting way better now, but when I got into it, and even until now in the One Piece community, there's way more men than women. And you know, like when I was making skits, it wasn't so bad, but when I started talking power scaling and stuff like that, this is where they all came out, and they were like, oh, but yeah, it's crazy because I received a comment like yesterday about a guy who's like, just do skits, don't power scale, women don't know anything about power scaling, you're not built for that. Yeah. He was like saying stuff like that. And you know what's crazy? I don't want to generalize, but it's always the Zoro profile pics. But anyways, and I'm telling you, the number of like, and it's happening even more on Twitter. I feel like Twitter people are unhinged, and like, you know, Elon Musk, like people say anything they want over there.
Like
but yeah,
they're threatened by
yeah. I swear to
Absolutely.
God, like and like I don't even like think, you know what's crazy? I do not think that I'm better at power scaling than them. They think I'm better at power scaling than them, so that's why they feel insecure and they need to like bring me down, because I can literally, a guy could make the same list as me and he would get less hate, but they immediately attack my gender. Immediately, like immediately, like I'm like, yo, debate my takes. Like, why do you have to attack me personally? And unfortunately, it still is happening in the community. And what I find crazy is that most of these guys cry and say like, why are there more women in the anime community? And there a woman comes and she's like, hello, and they're like, shut up, female. And they call us females. They don't even say women, they say females.
I mean,
I'm like, have you ever spoken to a woman before?
Anime communities, gaming communities, big time that happens in. It's like the second they find out, it's either you got the roaches on one side, and you got the Zoro PFPs on the other.
Listen, the Zoro PFPs, they're always the racist too. Like every time you hear the minority hunter joke, it's always a Zoro PFP. Every time. It's insane.
I swear, it's crazy. And when you, and something I noticed in the community as a whole, people, how they power, like for example, power scaling, because I got into it not a long time ago, and how they power scale, they just put their favorite at the top. Yep. And me, I literally, I'm not even joking with you. I am unbiased because for example, I'm not an Admiral fan, and I have Admirals on the top. And they always come to me and they're like, oh, so you were an undercover Admiral stan, and I'm like, no, I'm just not biased like you.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm using logic and facts to base my power scaling, and that's why I don't power scale at all on TikTok. People are like, who do you think will win in this fight? And I'll give my opinion on it. But once they start getting into like the crazy, well, this feat, I'm
you know what's crazy? I use statesman made by Oda, like panels and stuff, and they're like, where was this written? And I show the statement. I'm like, oh, in this book, in this data book, and they're like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. And I'm like, okay then, you know.
One of my biggest, like, it was at the time Facebook debate was, it was at a time where Shanks and Mihawk were called the biggest fraud. They're not that powerful. They're just for show. They're mysterious, but they'll be taken out in 2 seconds. And I remember that picture on my phone. That moment when Whitebeard even says, I shiver thinking of the duels with an S that you and Mihawk used to have all the time. And then you think of literally the title of Mihawk, #1 swordsman, saying, if Whitebeard, an old man at the edge of death, who is barely able to do what he was supposed to do in the prime, is able to wreck everyone, and he tells him, just thinking of that fight, I have shivers. That says a lot. And and the balls to call them frauds, my whole thing with power scaling is, like you said, it's extremely biased. I always tell people the best test to know if someone is biased or not with power scaling, I tell him, scale me Kinemon with a character. Remember, there's only been 3 weeks between Wano and Dressrosa, and you can only choose one character. You'll see no one will be able to power scale Kinemon. It's a spectrum, you know? Depends on the arc.
And I always like to think of what Stan Lee said, and it's whoever you want to win as the creator of this scenario, that's who's going to win. Like, if I say Superman versus Spider-Man, I like Spider-Man more, so I'm going to say Spider-Man wins. Like, that kind of thing. And that's exactly what Hime was saying as well, is that these people will put there's so many people who are like, Shanks is a fraud, Mihawk is a fraud, Dragon is a fraud. Like,
Kobe's got them guns on him, bro.
Yeah, Kobe does got the guns, though.
You know what's crazy is that, like, every time I put Shanks over Mihawk, and I give arguments and statements and like my logic, my reasoning, and they're like, oh, so you're calling him a fraud? And I'm like, no, I literally have him like if Mihawk is if Shanks is 100, Mihawk is 99. How is that making him a fraud? Like, for them, it's like, if you don't have their favorite at the top, like, you're calling them fraud immediately. Immediately. It's kind of crazy. Like, I had like some jokes about Dragon being a fraud, but I never thought that he was a fraud. Actually, I always told people I am 100% sure he's gonna be strong. What I criticize him about is like decision making, not about his strength. But people are automatically, if you criticize a bit somebody, he's a fraud, she's calling him a fraud, and I'm like, oh, come on, bro. Come on.
It's my whole debate about the whole Kaido stuff, where I said I think the example of Kaido is he's the pinnacle of physical strength, but how the other people are just going to be different is the intensity of the haki, stuff like that. And I remember the debate I had with people is, but we all know that Kaido will not have the strongest haki, and people go crazy. He says, dude, literally the guy even says it. He can't deal with some of the stuff in the past, he has to drink. That's not someone, I don't think if you have to go to drink, you will have the strongest haki. I'm pretty sure that there will be people who will surpass him in that quality and stuff like that.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that, like, I think Shanks might, physically, he is much weaker than Kaido, but he can gauge the gap because of his level haki, his mental control. And literally Kaido has to drink sometimes, and he cries while he's fighting, and there's all those different moments. So yeah.
He also gets flirtatious, which I love.
Bro has a heart for being literally a beast, like, for real.
And he's an ally. He never misgenders his son, which is crazy to me. Would not expect that of Kaido, ever. But with power scaling too, and especially with what you were saying, Cube, when it comes to Kaido and like things like that, yes, physical strength is important, but in the One Piece world, you have to attribute will as well. Because if your will is stronger than someone's will, you can overpower them even if they are physically stronger than you. And that's where power scaling, that's what makes One Piece so hard to actually like definitively power scale. But yes, now that is a good way to segue into the One Piece questions for the interview. Yay! Everyone's favorite, what everyone came here to see. The hard-hitting stuff. Hime, who's your favorite character in all of One Piece? That isn't a Straw Hat.
Okay, so I have like 3 favorite, but like 3 favorites. So I have like a dead favorite, an alive favorite, and just like somebody that I worship. So can I say all 3 of them?
Yeah, of course.
So Ace, then Law, and the one that I worship is Buggy.
Yeah, everyone worships Buggy. Like,
yeah, so these 3
he's the goat.
are my favorite.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
The more I think about it, the more I'd like to say Senior Pink's probably one of my favorite in the whole story. Dude's a bad guy, but listen, he's got conviction. He made a mistake in his life, and you know what? He owned it up until the very end. All right, that dude.
This is true.
That dude, he lost his woman, right? So, but what's he do? He does everything in the final moments to make what he did wrong right.
Yeah.
It was his fault that he made it right. You know, dude's a top G to me.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm just gonna jump in because I want to broadcast this to everyone in the world. I'm not gonna talk about my favorite, but I'm gonna talk about the one character I want to see gone the fastest possible because I hate him to a core. Saturn has to go. Sorry for this message, but I had to broadcast this to everyone to know about this.
Yes.
So mine is an opposite answer. He has to go. I'm sorry.
So, what is your favorite arc in the story so far?
I mean, I gotta say, like Impuldan, Marineford. These
Let's go.
I mean, I mean, I know it's a boring answer. I can tell you what's my my underdog like favorite arc if you want, which is more interesting. It is undoubtedly Dressrosa.
I got a lot of hate for my Dressrosa segment.
Listen, I have so much love for Dressrosa. I can talk about Dressrosa the whole day. I love it so much.
I mean, it's an amazing arc when you look back at it. Because when I was catching up, I was watching the anime, and Dressrosa in the anime drags so much.
I can understand for the people.
I went to once I finished Dressrosa in the anime, I was like, I'm manga only now. I'm only reading the manga. I can't do it no more.
I get it.
Yeah, but that's I always love hearing that take because like we have members in the last arc that are like, I hate Dressrosa. Den, I'm looking at you. And I myself ranked it at like, what was it, Cube? Like 18 or 19 or something like that when we ranked all the arcs. And everyone in that one in Whole Cake Island, everyone was like, you have the worst takes ever, Lucas. Like,
I am loving Whole Cake right now. I'm loving it.
Oh, it's so good. Yes, Fritz is not caught up all the way, and he's in the middle of his first watch. Actually, way past the middle of his first watch. But
the issue, Lucas, wasn't how you rank the other arcs. It's the fact that I think you put the Reverie arc with all those reveals in like the top 20. That was a problem. And then there was some for me mid arcs that were good, and were like in the top 14. And I said, dude, there's a problem. That was my problem with that.
Listen, I will never waver that Syrup Village is a top 15 arc. It's good, man.
Hey man, I will not change the fact that Fishman Island is the worst arc for me. I won't change on that.
Oh, I will.
In the anime, I can see why, but in the manga, I heard that it's way better paced and it's way better in the manga.
It's such a good read in the manga. It is such. If you haven't, I would definitely recommend reading Fishman Island. It gives you a whole different perspective on the events. So what was the moment that you fell in love with One Piece?
I feel like I've always been like in love with One Piece in a way. Like I feel like the first arc that like got me in my feels was Arlong Park. This is the first time I cried, to be honest. When Nami was like sticking like the knife in her arm, I cried. I cried. Literally, I cried. I was able like to put myself in her shoes and relate to her, like not relate to her story, but like just like have empathy towards her. And at that moment, I was like, wow, this is the first anime that made me cry. And it's just like afterward, it just like went like uphill from there. It was crazy.
Some people might call me a bitch, but I first cried at the Baratier. Let's go.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine.
I am those people.
No, yeah, of course. He is those people, yeah. But no, when Sanji said goodbye to Zeph, I lost it. I don't know why, but it just got after Zoro and his whole like vow to never lose again. I was like already in my feels because of that. And then Sanji says goodbye to Zeph, and I'm done. I'm like,
you take that moment. You take that moment, and then you go to where Sanji says, "I already have a real father," and you just pull those two together. It's like bet.
Oh yeah, you're experiencing Whole Cake now. Now you're getting the Vinsmoke family.
I love it.
For me, it's the Chopper scene with Dr. Hiluk when Dr. Hiluk realizes that he hasn't lung, and so he kicks him out, and Chopper like uses everything in his mind to beg him to accept him. I don't have friends. I have no one. I'm not loved. I'm sorry. I don't know what I did. It's my fault. I will clean the house, and then he has to shoot him to have to go there. For me, I'm sorry. It killed me when I was a kid. And at the time, it was when you're 14, 15, and you act like you don't have emotions. And I was like, what the hell has happened to me? So that was my moment in One Piece, where,
So, when did you get caught up in One Piece?
At the end of Thriller Bark. Like mid Thriller Bark and Thriller Bark.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Hella young. I started hella young.
Yeah, I thought for some reason that you and Chestnut had both caught up at like Whole Cake Island. I don't know where I got that idea.
No. That's her. I don't remember when she caught up, but maybe her. I've been watching that thing like since I was young. Since I was young. Yeah.
Yes,
but to be fair, I'm older than her. To be fair, that's why.
Yeah.
Also, there's the Francophone thing. Like I also come from Francophone community. The Francophone community has been it's one of the oldest communities. Like some of them have been following since the early 2000s, like me.
Mhm.
You know, it's also that. It's very popular.
I love hearing the experiences of people who caught up early, because as someone who caught up towards the end of Wano, it's always interesting to me. So let me ask you this then: how was it watching Marineford then week to week?
Oh my god, it was like. Yeah, I told you, like me, the first time I saw Ace, he was my I decided he was my favorite character, and guess what? Like I was crying. Nothing was spoiled to me because it was week to week, and I wasn't like on the internet. The internet wasn't like something like that. Anyways,
yeah.
But it's I didn't have any words. Like she was crazy. Like shit was crazy. I can't even explain to you the feeling that I had, because even now thinking about it, every time that I re-see the scenes,
I always say
it gets me.
As someone who's lost a brother, I always say that.
I'm so sorry.
Luffy, it's all right. But it always gets me worse the way Luffy reacts, other than Ace's death itself. Because like Ace, he's accepted it at this point, and he's just trying to. That's the saddest thing too, is he's just trying to comfort Luffy as his like final moments, and it's like, ah! And then Luffy's reaction, blows me away. But I could not imagine sitting there and then being like, yeah, Ace and Luffy, they're about to escape, and then next week, no, they're not. Like that would be wild to have experienced. I do remember when Marineford happened, though, even though I wasn't a One Piece fan, because I was obviously in the anime community still, and I can remember everyone talking about it. I knew about it before I ever started One Piece, and it's because everyone on the internet was like, I can't believe Oda did it. He always brings them back. Like, and it's like, he did it this time.
Yeah,
Honestly,
no, I feel you. It was unreal to me. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a context, because since you say you cut up in Thriller Bark, there's one thing in the manga at the time that hit so hard is the reveal of Dragon and Revolution Army. Because the way, like you said, no forums, there's nothing, so you're just reading One Piece. You get one of the darkest storyline introduced, Dennis Lobby one with O'Hara, all of that. And then you kind of sense like Luffy is doing the impossible. Like he barely survived all this, and then you're realizing, how is Luffy going to survive that? Then you found out, actually Luffy's not the first one. His father, then you remember that this guy you keep seeing. I remember like when I was a kid, the reveal of Dragon hit so hard, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It worked very well in the manga. I don't remember how I reacted in the anime, but in the manga, week to week, the reveal of Dragon was like, it was nicely done, you know. I didn't think there was a break afterwards, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think there was a month break after post-war arc, I believe, because
post-war,
SSJ,
I know.
Yeah, SSJ Cody, shout out to the special grade sorcerer of the last arc. He always talks about how devastating that month break was in the manga. Like after reading the war arc, could not imagine. So this is a question from Kube, actually. Do you have an arc that hits really hard for you? Like personally, you really felt it, and most people don't have that relationship with that arc. So like an underdog arc or something that you really, really connect with, and you don't see people talking about as much.
Wait, is that a question for me?
Yes.
Okay, so an arc that people don't connect with?
Yes, that you felt a personal connection to.
Oh, that I felt a personal connection with. It's hard to find an arc that I felt a personal connection with, because like we don't live like the same lives as pirates.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to pick one that like that hit me more in the feels, and that I could like I feel I could I guess okay, so I guess Arlong Park because like first of all like the main character was a girl and like I could like it's easy to relate to somebody who's in the same gender as you, and maybe Robin like Robin's arc which was Enies Lobby when she was like I want to live. Oh my god, like that was so good because like it's just like of course like I haven't lived the same life as her but like you can kind of relate where like oh okay you know what like even when you think that your life is not worth it like you actually people your friends come to you and prove you're wrong but the one that I think I related to the most was Ace. That's why actually I have Ace one of my favorite characters because Ace his whole life he was like searching for a purpose. He was trying to understand like what is the meaning of his life. Like he didn't want to like just become like his father or anything. He even see him with Garb like on the boat asking Garb like what's the meaning of my life? What's the purpose of it? And Garb told him like you have to live to find it. And what's crazy is that like when you see him at Marineford like on the podium like on the execution stand and he's looking at everybody he's like how come why are you guys here? Why is everybody coming to save me? Because in his head nobody loves him, nobody wants him, there's no purpose to his life. And it is sad that he came to the breakthrough and conclusion that people actually love him and he found purpose to his life in his death. But I guess that was like the closure to his character and he was like that's why his last words were thank you for loving me because that's all he wanted. He just wanted that. So I was like I feel like everybody can relate to that at some point where like you sometimes you feel lost and you wonder like what is the purpose of my life? Like, what am I doing? Is there actually people who need me, who love me? So I think that he's the character that I was able to connect and relate to the most, even though he's not like of the same gender as me.
Yes, of course. Well, no, I feel that, especially when you said it, even though they're not the same gender, because Robin is my most connected character, like entirely. So I feel that a lot. Shout out to Parvision in the chat, who said typical Ace fan based.
Of course.
Oh, Par.
Of course.
Of course it's Par. Yes. Oh, goodness. Oh, that was a great answer, Kube. Damn.
Yeah, that
Very
was
well articulated. Wow.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
Yes.
It's better. My answer would have been Zoe for the Mink's loyalty towards Raizo. I'm sorry, you can't remove that for me.
Yeah.
That level of loyalty. That level of loyalty is, on par. No pun intended.
Next is kind of a fun question. If you could have one devil fruit power, what would it be and why?
What would it be and why? A devil fruit power? For utility reason, I think that it's either the Ope no Mi because like it's so versatile, you can do so much. Yes. But I don't know medicine, so I don't know if that would be good for me. But otherwise, something that I find very useful in the world we live in is bueno, like fruit. Like you can just teleport anywhere. That's like because time is like what's the most expensive thing here. But otherwise, as a cool fruit that I personally love is Aokiji's fruits because I've always loved ice powers. So like as a cool fruit, I would want Aokiji one. But as utility, it would be more either the Ope no Mi or the Blue Eno fruit.
Nice. Fritz and Kube, I want to hear your answers on this one too, actually.
Well, I have a... Oh, let's go Fritz first.
I'm gonna tell you what, I can see Kube being a giraffe. All right, I can see that.
Hey, giraffes are cool, man.
I don't know. So, I'd like the ability to move around at the speed of light. Like whatever.
So the Pika Pika, good choice. Kube?
So for me, my answer is Kuma's fruit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, pop.
The pain stuff, to be able to move at super speed. There's so much possibility with that fruit. And then another answer is not an answer, but I've always thought that question of what the fruits I would have, and also a fruit that's not too OP because in our world, we know that some fruits, like I give an example, the best example is Kaido's fruit. You have that fruit, I'm sorry, you're the most wanted man in the world. There's no way in hell that someone's gonna let someone, Kaido, just imagine, that scene in Wano when Kaido just appears from the clouds and just looks at people, just appearing that way, you're number one everywhere. So I think Kuma's fruit is the best balance of it could be powerful, useful, and you could be incognito with it.
You see how no one said the cage fruit? Stop judging me, TikTok. I gave it a 5 out of 10. Get over it. Just saying. No, definitely the jacket fruit for me. I got to know what the inside of the coat feels like. That's all. Like that's legitimately why.
It's emptiness. You're being used, bro.
Well, does it feel like leather? Like
Spandex.
Yeah, see, like what is it latex like texture inside? We don't know, and we never will. No, obvious choice though for me is the moki moku, the smoke fruit. I love the plume fruit. It has 3 names, by the way. So next question: what are your favorite One Piece quotes? And you can give us 3 of these.
Ooh. One Piece quotes? I've never like written them down or anything. Let me think. Quotes. Oh my god, I should have maybe thought about this one. But I don't remember which one of you guys. One of you guys said a buggy quote that I really liked, but I forgot like exactly how the quote was. I don't remember who said it, but somebody said a buggy quote at some point. It was very, very cool. It was about like how the wind blows. I can't find it anymore, but otherwise I don't know. I never wrote down the quotes. I don't have one. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. That's fine.
If you want, I'll drop one, and maybe like Fritz and Lucas drops one, and if you have an idea, it comes up, pops up.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's a big quote, and I can't repeat it, but it's the speech of the flamingo on the boat with Suru when he talks about the state of things, and then he says, "It's been 24 years since Goldie Roger has become king of the pirate. Whitebeard was close to it, but never was able to sit on the seat. Now what's wrong? What's gonna happen now? There are more pirates than ever, and there's one empty seat." And I feel like it's something that no one thought of in this storyline. Like even now, like everyone is going after it. Luffy's getting stronger, and you're realizing it. There's only one seat. What's gonna happen soon?
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's like
I really like his one-liner about getting about just bringing him a paper every day. That's all he needs. Yeah, like he can be happy enough just knowing how it goes down.
You guys are missing all of the best quotes. I'm just gonna say it out there. No one is born to be alone. Amazing quote. Like
I thought about something too after.
Yes.
Oh, is it?
Go.
Oh, okay, go.
Go for it.
I like when he reminded me of the flamingo when he I can't quote it exactly how it went, but like I can explain it like vaguely. So he was talking about like the people who are in power decides what's good and what's right and wrong. And I feel like this was super, like this is a big theme, a big theme in One Piece, which is true because it's not like what's actually ethically right or wrong. It's the people who are in power that will decide what is right and wrong, and that's kind of crazy.
That is literally one of my favorite monologues from the entire series. That
me
the
too.
pirates are evil, the Marines are righteous. It's so good. Children will go to bed never knowing war, while other children. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
I'd say another great moment is when Fujitaro is sitting there, and the people of Dressrosa are rushing, blockade them trying to come after the Straw Hats, and he's just wondering about. I wonder what his face looks like.
Yeah, I bet it's kind. Like, oh god, I need to reread Dressrosa. I say this every stream.
Yeah, but that quote is so, I love it, and I also feel like, especially when you do a rewatch, when you go Amazon Lily and you understand that they explain like they were, because Luffy was convinced they were pirates because that's what they said. No, we were labeled as that way. And then you have the Flamingos quote that you think about it as, oh my god, it makes so much sense. It's like everywhere. Like you think in One Piece, it's literally everywhere. Even how some people, the Kuja tribe, are all called pirates, when maybe I think a fourth of them are pirates. Not even.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's just
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Kuja, you guys react to every episode. What did you think of the events between Blackbeard and Boa as they were depicted in the anime?
Blackbeard and Boa. I think it was kind of crazy that when he said. I love the fact that he said that like he couldn't go like 1 versus 1 in front of her to beat her. He had like to sneak her or like to like do something kind of crazy. I love that the fact that we're giving Boa her flowers because a lot of people like underestimate her, but like her devil fruit is kind of broken, so I really enjoyed that episode.
Yes. Yeah, I really like you said, one of my favorite things about it, I was telling my wife this. She doesn't even watch One Piece, the poor woman. I sit there and blab about it to her all the
Poor
time.
woman.
Torture her.
Yeah, dude, I do. I sit there and I'm like, so Ace, this is what happens within. But with that, I was telling my wife how the way they depicted Boa in those moments, like her resolve, like she did not flinch at Blackbeard. Like there was moments where like she was getting hurt and stuff, but like she was just still like stone cold resolve, like let my people go. If you kill me, your pirates are screwed. Like it's so good the way they brought her strength into those scenes. It was very I don't know what it is lately, but these past like 10 episodes of the anime have depicted the scenes in the manga so much. I don't want to say better than the manga, but they interpreted them in such a correct way that it's just been amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we have another fun question. If you can be BFFs with a character just based off their personality, which character would it be?
I'd have to go with either Shanks or Buggy. I just feel like, first of all, great connections right there, and like both of them are funny. And I think I wouldn't like nothing would be boring. Like everything would be so cool. Like I mean, obviously. By the way, I will never pick Luffy for any questions because I feel like it's like the generic answer. I'm trying to like take other ansers.
I think Buggy would be a party. It'd be a riot.
Oh yeah, so do I. Well, he does party. That's how him and Ace met. Like
getting down.
Yeah, I would party with Buggy. I would party with Jeff Ward, the guy that played him in the live action. Like that guy, I bet he gets down too.
Yeah.
Honestly, my honestly, I think there's only one answer with this. If you want to be protected, to have always food, to party, to be the best girls, like to have the most fun, and have the best life, your BFF has to be Whitebeard. Because I swear to God, dude, anything happens, like even if a drunk guy pushes you on the street, dude, better run and hide. I'm gonna get Newgate, and you're going to just make a Whitebeard being your BFF. It would be crazy.
That's true.
Yeah. Lucas, I think.
He froze for me.
I think he froze
for me
Fritz.
too.
Oh shit! Lucas and Fritz have frozen.
Oh no! What is happening? Is it like one by one?
Yeah,
Hello?
I knew something was up when both they took a certain stance.
Do you think it's Discord?
What the heck?
Literally, it's top one saddest backstory ever in One Piece up until now. It's there's no competition, and honestly, I don't even understand like how Kuma is like how is he surviving all of this? Like how is he okay? Like I'm so shocked. Like this man is like the Jesus of One Piece, literally. Like he hasn't known one like peaceful day in his life, like maybe a couple, but he's always been like just sacrificing himself for everybody. It's just I feel so angry. It's been a while since I last felt angry about like people, but I feel angry about the Celestial Dragon, about Saturn, about everybody. I want him to get his revenge so bad.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No. Yeah, it's the positivity thing, it's the martyr thing with Kuma is very strong,
Yeah.
I really feel.
Sorry about.
Yo, look.
Are you guys okay?
No, we both failed.
Yeah, Emu saw the stream, saw it was getting too good, and decided to just.
I've got to say something, guys. I was wondering why both of you were like each in a weird position. You were really both of you in a weird position.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, something's odd.
It's like when you pause an anime and they're like real sus, like, what's up?
Oh goodness. Well,
So
that was an
I
event.
asked-
There was a.
Yeah, I asked.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I was gonna just tell Lucas that because we didn't know when you were gonna be back on, I asked her the Kuma backstory. She just gave her answer.
Oh,
Yeah.
son of a bitch. No, I'm joking.
So Lucas had asked for some questions in the chat, and the first one that come up was pretty good. And what sets One Piece apart from other stories for you?
Oh my god, so much. Obviously there's like everybody says the word building, but also it's like really the geopolitical like state of the story, like how much thought was put into it, and the depth of the stories. It's not just like it's so much more, like there's so much nuance, like it's so much more than just like oh, this is the story, this is what the character have to do, get to the One Piece and become Pirate King. No, there's so much more. There's the state of the world, there's so many parallels with our world. There's also the fact that even side characters get so much like they get backstories, they get like they're so well written. Like you will never meet like One Piece fans who only have the main character as a favorite character. Everybody has like different favorite characters as well. Unlike other shonen, like most of the time it's always the same characters that people love, but this one is like you can literally, somebody can surprise you out of nowhere and tell you like a character that has nothing to do with, like some people will say Gaimon, like you know, like it doesn't even have to be Luffy. So the side character, the world building, the geopolitical state of the anime, and the fact that it's again it talks about like subjects that are very important even like in our world right now. And I just also love how it's goofy and serious at the same time. It's able to like go between these themes, and it's just like done so beautifully. It's just like, oh, there's so much, the character designs, the fact that also Oda like brings back stuff. There's always like, you know how like it's a puzzle, and like sometimes we're like he show us something and then you go back 500 chapter, it all makes sense. It's just like the connections, you know at the beginning when you watch One Piece you think about yourself like, oh, I want to know what the One Piece is. No, but you get to a point now where you're like, I don't even think about the One Piece. I'm thinking about the Void Century, about God Valley, about all of the things. Like you think about everything surrounding it. There's so many side quests. It's not only the main quest, which makes it so much more interesting.
Yes, I agree. It really does reflect life in the way. Like when I love that you said something about how it can be silly and serious at the same time, because that's life. That is just how life is. You can go from joking one minute to crying the next because you get bad news or something, or vice versa. You could get bad news and have a terrible day, but then the next thing you know, you stub your toe in the funny way and fall on your face and you start laughing or something. You know, it's crazy how much it parallels life. And then I have some questions now. We're still doing One Piece questions, but I've a very good question from a member of the last.
I'm muted. I'm muted. Sorry, I'm muted. I just had a follow-up question with this one. That's sorry. Okay, since you talked about, everyone has their different characters. Is there like a specific fandom, not about the fandom, but about someone says, I'm a huge fan of this character, and you know how certain characters, like the best example, if someone tells you, I'm a huge fan of the Celestial Dragons or the Gorosei, and then you're judging them. Is there any time like there's this, someone tells you like, oh, I'm a fan of this character. Is there a character where someone tells you he's a fan of, you would judge them for it?
The thing is, I think there's a way to like not associate yourself with what the character does. You can be a fan of like how well written he is, just like people are fans of Dofi. It doesn't mean that like they're okay with everything he does. It's just like how well he was written, his backstory and everything. But obviously, like I always like, I guess the one that always comes back to my mind is Blackbeard. I can understand why people are a fan of him because he's a true pirate, but like he neither have the looks, neither the personality for me, and we still didn't see a backstory. So me personally, I need a backstory. I need a bit more depth to the character to be attached to him, or he has to have like a great personality, or looks, But I feel like Blackbeard still lacks like the depth to him. But I understand why people like him. But I just cannot be a fan of him. I can respect the grind. I can respect the fact that he's a true pirate. But I don't understand like the infatuation with him.
Yeah. I do, because I'm infatuated with Blackbeard. But no,
just not as infatuated with Blackbeard.
He's infatuated with Big Mom.
I am. I love Big Mom. She is my number one waifu.
Big Mom is a cool character.
Oh yeah. Well, not only that, she is legitimately. Well, it's kind of a meme in a running. a running gag in TLA and on my TikTok that like I want to bang Big Mom. I'll just be honest. Yeah, but
I mean, Prime Big
legitimately,
Mom.
yeah.
He's not
But
talking about
legitimately,
Prime Big Mom. He's not talking about Prime Big Mom. He's not
I'm
talking
talking about
Prime Big
any Big Mom, bro. Prime Big Mom, current Big Mom. I don't care.
Listen, it takes a special type of man to be able to handle Big Mom, bro.
Yeah, she's a powerful woman. I like powerful women. You met my wife. But no, she is legitimately my favorite Yonko. I mean, she's just an amazing character. Her backstory,
cool.
everything.
I agree.
She is a big piece of shit, but it is what it is.
I
but
mean,
get what
aren't
you're
they
saying.
all?
Yeah,
Anyways.
yeah, yes. But we had a question from Last Arc member Den Kushi, and he wants to know if you could play any One Piece live or character in the One Piece live action that hasn't been cast already, who would it be?
If I can play any One Piece, wait, what do you mean? You like
in
play
like
character,
act, yeah, like play the character in the One Piece live action. Who would it be?
that hasn't been played yet?
Yes.
Okay. Damn. First of all, I have to pick like a girl, obviously. Let me think. Damn, that's a very good question. Oh my god. Because there's so much more male characters. I'm thinking about the female characters.
I mean, it's 2023. You can pick a male character.
Honestly, if I could, let me see.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
if I
could
was
also
a
pick
man,
an
I would
icon.
listen. If I was a man, I would love to play either Aokiji or Law. Like I really
Ooh,
love
yeah.
them.
You'd make a good Aokiji. I could see it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Let me find. Oh shit. I'm sorry. I'm bouncing through like 4 messages or DMs on TikTok on Discord because I'm trying to keep up with all the questions. Then another question from Den Kushi: if the world government, if you lived in the One Piece world and the world government offered you a position as warlord of the sea, would you accept it?
Ooh.
To protect the people I want and love, yes, I would.
Very Boa answer. I like it. Very Kuma answer as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about him, but that's true.
Yes, yeah. Oh my goodness, Lucas, what are you doing? You're making a fool out of yourself. I'm joking. I make a fool out of myself every stream. It's kind of a tradition now. Yes, there we go. So, time to talk about current One Piece and Kube, because you're caught up on the manga as well, right?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. I just have to double check. So, Cube already stole my question about Kuma's backstory. Do you think that Vegapunk is shady at all?
Yeah, I even like we streamed like the chapter review, and it was one of the things I said this man is like he's upsetting me, like literally L, because he was in contact with Dragon. Of course, he's not talking every day to him, but we even see him talk with Shaka. Like he was in contact with Dragon. How else would Dragon like link them up together? He could have at some point, at any time, sent a letter or like slid the message that Koma is gonna get modified, bro. Like, first of all, he could have done that. But beside that, let's say he doesn't want to contact Dragon because he's under surveillance. First of all, he is the smartest person like in the verse. You're gonna tell me he couldn't fake the transformation of Kuma, or he couldn't lie about Bonnie's treatment. He couldn't do all of these things. He is self-serving. He is a bastard who is self-serving, who wanted to experiment on a buccaneer, and who wanted to get who wanted to do exactly what the world government wanted him to do. He's doing it for his own curiosity. He's not a good person.
Ooh, I like this actually. I like this a lot because I think that he lets his thirst for intelligence and knowledge to overtake his morals entirely. Yeah. Like, he obviously had a problem with wiping Kuma's memory, but at the same time, he's still gonna do it. Like,
Yeah.
He could have faked it. He's the smartest
Yeah.
person. You guys telling me he can't just fake stuff. He can make up things. Like nobody understand what
Yeah.
he does other than him.
If
Nobody
he,
can fact check him.
if he could have programmed a final request for its completion, he could have timed out the entire process to where he would have been free in the first place.
Reverted back. I don't
Mhm.
know. Because you know what? Because he wanted he wanted to keep the money coming in from the Marines, from the government, for the world government, and for that to happen is to actually do what he had to do on Kuma and the rest, to have all of these years to be able to experiment and do his thing. He's self-serving.
exactly. Self-serving.
Yeah. I would say also, I think he's too much. Best person, how I feel, he lives too much in his world. Okay, think about it.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit like the whole Disney with Pinocchio. Geppetto, his father, instead of meeting a woman and getting a kid, the guy had a kid by creating a puppet. What he does, instead of like having actual lab assistants, he literally creates satellite versions of him, because instead of meeting people. So and he's always alone most of the time. When we see him. So I kind of feel like he's Dexter's laboratory. He's in Dexter's laboratory all the time, even in
Yeah.
his mind. Not enough with the people.
It's doom and gloom up in his room. Is this what you're saying to me, Cube?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, I like that a lot, actually. And especially what you just said, Cube, about him being alone. Because even when he's talking to Shaka or, God forbid, York or Einstein, or not Einstein, Edison or Pythagoras or any of them, he's just talking to himself. He's not
Exactly.
talking to anyone else. He's talking to an extension of himself.
That's
Like,
true.
Yeah. And that even proves more so that he's self-serving and
He
that
is
he's
so self-serving.
arrogant. Yeah, and
Oh,
that he's
he is.
arrogant. He's full of himself to the point where the only people he can have conversations with on a high level is himself. So he
That's
creates
true.
more of himself. Ooh, spicy Vegapunk slander, and I love it. I'm not gonna lie. So this actually, Kizaru, right? Me and Cube have been on this agenda for months now that Kizaru is going to betray the world government. Do you get that vibe from him at all?
I get the vibe that he will end up like caring more about Vegapunk and Bonnie, Kuma, and everybody. So yes, I can see that happening 100%.
Beautiful. This is what I'm talking about, Cube. It's all about just like getting him onto our side. We're gonna have the whole
Because he's
community.
too conflicted. He is conflicted, and people who don't want to admit that are just they just.
He's been pulling
I'm
his
sorry.
punches for a long time.
Yeah.
not
Since Sabaudi.
Yeah, and not only that, but there was that panel where he was face to face with Vegapunk. It was right before Luffy went Gum Gum Giganto or whatever it is, and pulled him out of the Labosphere. Where you could just see on his face, like the way Oda drew it, like he does not want to do this. Like this is the last thing in the world he wants to do. And I think that's going to be a big part in what goes down on Egghead for the.
And
Egghead
I'll say
Islands.
this: we're gonna find out there's a reason why Vegapunk, the moment he saw Gear 5, he talked about the White Liberator Nika, and why the Kizaru's fruit is the only fruit that rhymes with the Nika fruit, Pika Pika as well. Like it's very on the nose. And I told my people in Marineford, Kizaru preferred when the order was to kill Luffy on sight to shoot at the key and not at his body. I'm sorry. In what world is a key an easier target than Luffy's entire body? He does not want to harm Luffy for some reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
And then is Dragon a bad father?
We have been shown in the last chapter that he actually cared about Luffy, so he's not a bad father. But I find it very interesting how these criminals decide to have kids when they know that they cannot take care of them. So this is my only complaint. Unless it was an accident, that's fine. But if it wasn't an accident, honestly, I just don't understand why they keep doing that. I don't know if it's like a trope in One Piece. Let's do
Repeat
kids and not take care of them. You know,
Yeah,
anybody would have judged somebody who would have had a kid knowing that they're a criminal and they're wanted.
Yeah.
Just to not take care of them.
I'm
So
gonna have
yes,
a
he's a
son.
good dad. Yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna have a son, go up to another island and hang out with his future best friend for a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. I love it. It goes right into the dragon is a fraud thing too. He is. I'm joking. think that's all of the questions I wrote out, except for one more, and that is, besides One Piece, what is your favorite anime or manga?
I mean, I feel so unoriginal saying that, but it's One Piece. You can ask me for the second one, maybe.
Yeah, I said besides One Piece.
Oh, besides One Piece, I guess a close second has to be Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood for the anime.
Yes.
And when it comes to manga, I feel like I read more manhwa than manga, so I can answer it with manhwas if that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with them, but yeah.
Yeah, so my favorite manhwa is Omniscient Reader Viewpoint. Maybe you guys don't, you probably don't know it, but it's a very good manhwa, and I am 100% sure that in the future it's gonna get an anime adaptation. Just like Solo Leveling is getting an anime adaptation, it's gonna go through the same thing.
Also,
And
don't worry, Ragnar was in the chat, so he for sure
Ooh!
got the reference. Yeah, Ragnar was in the chat as well.
Yeah, Ragnar knows, bro. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, manhwas, they're basically the Korean version of manga, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they're just Korean
and
comics.
there's like the drawings are different and there's color. That's like the biggest difference. And like how it's spreadsheet. Like it's more like vertical. Anyways, but yeah.
Shout out Crownless King. That's the most out of pocket question I've had in one of these interviews, and no, I'm not going to ask it. Love you though.
Jesus.
Yeesh.
Oh my
So
god.
we're in the bit of the free area now, boys. So anyone has questions for Hime, obviously ask in chat. If you have questions for Hime, obviously ask, please.
I've got a question,
I beg of
and
you.
it's more like,
Yeah.
do we share like a preference? Because, like, One Piece is a wonderful world, has like the good guys are really the bad guys. Full Metal Alchemist has a world where the good guys are the bad guys. Seven Deadly Sins, the angels and the holy knights are the bad guys. Like, is it just something about that makes like these shows and these animes just and mangas so much better than like many others? It's something that like it's easy to relate to. It's like commonly happens in real life, where like the people that are supposed to be the good guys are really the ones that are bad.
I guess the thing is that they need to do something that, again, as you said, people can relate to. Because if everybody was the good guy, like, what's so interesting about it? But you have to see like stuff that are opposite. You have to ask ethical questions. You have to like put the watcher on the spot and be like, oh look, like, which side are you on? Or do you understand why this person is acting this way? Because even for villains, most of them are not born bad, you know, they become bad. So like it's all a reflection of our society, and the more it can reflect our society, the more it can make like the watcher think, and the more he can relate to it. So I think that's why they do it this way.
They're the ones that I kind of enjoy the most, and there's a theme there.
Yeah, it's a trope. Yeah, it's like a theme. It's one of the probably the best elements of manga that I really enjoy. In Western like television and shows and comics and stuff, I've started doing that as well, where they do the old switcheroo on you. The people that you're supposed to be idolizing are actually the evil people.
I actually, in a way, there is that in some but even in some comic books. Think about this, right? Gotham City with the Batman. We had found out when you read the comics, the true evil is the city itself, how corrupted it is. You know, it's not just the villain inside it. Pick up the whole thing of Lex Luthor and Superman. Superman is an alien with crazy powers, but who is the biggest threat to everyone? Lex Luthor, an intelligent human man who had good intentions, but because of his paranoia, literally goes crazy. You know, it's like there is this trope of, you know, the obvious people who are supposed to help you in this context aren't the answer. You know. It's, you know, a reversal, because I do see it in comics sometimes. It's not that deep as manga, but it's, you know, it's very. I think that's why Batman and Superman, people love it that much. It's because of the whole Gotham City itself is evil. It's not the people are just corrupted by being in the city, and Batman has to do the impossible. Then there's the whole Superman thing. You know, he's the least human. He's not even human, and he is the best example of what human example should be. You know, he's the example of, you know, human pride. Superman, he's an alien.
We are. I just want to say, Lex Luthor is correct, by the way. If there was an immortal being that was just going around being able to stop planes and shit like that, I would also be concerned for the safety of all of humanity. but I would not let it drive me to madness. So we do have some questions from the chat.
He's
Kusaland Theories. Kusalendo! Let's go!
Kusaland!
Did you
What's
say I'm
up?
fried? I am a little bit. So, question. What sets One Piece apart from other stories for you, Hime?
Didn't you ask that?
Yeah, we did do.
I
this
think I
one.
did. I think we did.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think we asked
did-
that already.
We did the top questions, I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I have one from Brandon King if you want. There's a bit downwards.
read that one out. That was what
Yeah.
I was doing next. So.
Oh yeah, okay. What is your favorite mystery about the One Piece world? You're worried that we might not get revealed by the end of the series. And he said, for me, it's to kill a wolf. Who made it and for what purpose?
The killer wolf?
Yeah, he said for Brandon, he said his biggest mystery is to kill a wolf. He wants to know who made it and for what purpose.
Tequila Wolf.
Tequila.
Yeah.
The big bridge that has never been ended. It's like the bridge in 700 years.
Oh.
Don't even remember that. Yeah,
I don't even remember that.
Basically, it's a bridge that they've been building for the last 700 years and it's still not completed. And there's this mystery of, what it will connect. Well, we assume it's one to connect the rest of the world, but that's a big mystery.
Okay, so you want to know which mystery I want to unveil first?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so right now I'm very, very much interested in knowing who the man marked by flame is. I need to know who this man is. But also, obviously, some part of the voice century. And I want to know if Buggy is actually Rock's son, bro. I have this theory, and I want it to be true.
Ooh, he may speak in my language. I've been pushing that agenda for so long.
It has to be. And I don't get. It has to be.
It has to be. It has to be.
Nobody go start from the bottom and is this high in his life and is this lucky without having some sort of background or lineage. I don't
Exactly.
care. It has.
Hime, you are speaking my language. Yes. So Cody pushing the Cube agenda in the chat. Garps his rocks.
Yeah. Yes, Cody. Keep on. Preach, Cody. Preach, man.
Cody asked, though, if you had to form a crew of under 1 million berries, who would you pick? So I'm guessing by under 1 million berries, he means lesser characters, lesser pirates. Cody, please elaborate.
Yeah, because there's not that many people under 1 million berries.
That's what I was wondering, too. I would just pick Gaimon. I'd pick 6 Gaimons and just go to sea with Gaimon and Sarfunkel. That's who I would pick.
Under 1 million? I don't even know characters under 1 million. Damn. Is Bonnie under 1 million?
No, Bonnie is 100-something million, isn't she? After post-time skip?
Yeah, and also, and guys, so you know, 1 million, even the bandit in the first chapter, the one who takes Luffy, he's 8 million. 1 million, yeah, everyone's over 1 million. I think Chopper's the only one who's under 1 million.
At this point, I can just pick Chopper,
Chopper, Whoop Slap.
Wait. None of the Marines are. No, actually, we can't take Marines because they're Marines. They're not pirates. Never mind.
No,
I wanted to find a loophole.
Got a black.
I mean, they have bounties. They have bounties now. Now they have
do have
bounties.
True, but we don't know the bounties of the others, so I can't just speculate. But yeah, but yeah, no, I guess it's gonna be Chopper because I don't, I can't see who else I could pick. Beppo, I don't even know what Beppo's bounty is. We don't know what Beppo's bounty is.
No, but I guarantee it's over 1 million. And his Sulong form was insane.
Yo, I'm sorry, but bro, I've been on that Beppo agenda. Me too. The first moment I saw it, I was like, yo, this guy is gonna be something big, bro.
Yes. I'm always sad sometimes because America, we don't get the volumes as fast as Japan, obviously. And Oda had teased Beppo's Sulong form in one of the SBSs, and we had already gotten the chapter by the time it came out in America. And I was like, oh, that would have been amazing to read that and be like, wait, what? But yes, there was another one that I was going to ask you, and now I'm trying to remember what it was. Husbandos. Who's your favorite top 3 husbandos in One Piece?
Ooh. Husband or waifus? Which one?
It doesn't matter. You pick. Maybe both. Let's go
Okay,
top 3 for both.
Okay, top 3 for men. It has to be obviously, okay, obviously, I mean, obviously, Ace and Law are in there. The third one, this is not even a shocker. The third one is, for me, let me see. This is hard because there's so many characters I like. I would honestly, I would pick Sanji because he would cook for me and he would protect me. So
Oh,
I would
that's
pick
true.
Sanji for the third one. Yeah.
Right.
But for the woman, oh sorry.
No, you could go for it.
For the woman, I would pick Nami. Oh, Nami, I love Nami. Like if I was a man, I would be infatuated with Nami. I would pick as a second one. Let me see. I guess Boa. Boa's beauty is like just out of this world. And as a third one, now this is controversial because people maybe don't view her as a girl, whatever. But it's gonna be Yamato for me.
I
So-
think husbandos, you missed the most important one, and that is Senior Peak. Like, say what you will about what
Bro.
happened with his wife. He is the best husband in all of One Piece. He
I mean,
loved that
I can
woman.
see why. I can see
Him
why.
like
I
him
can
like
see why.
Sanji really knows how to, treat a person. All right.
Yeah.
I would
Sanji a little
say-
bit too much,
But
though.
if I'm going looks only, I'm gonna go like Young Garling. I'm gonna go with Mihawk and Shanks,
Mhm.
and just for waifus, just drop me off on just drop me off on Boa's Island for sure.
On Amazon Lily.
Yeah, just drop me off. I'll be
Nope.
alright.
Sweet Pea though, Sweet Pea and Marguerite though.
Charlie.
duo,
Charlie
though.
is a top tier for me.
Yeah, Charlie
So-
top tier waifu.
For just for one waifu, you guys forget because we have to mention her, Viola. I'm sorry, guys. Don't
Yeah,
forget
Viola.
Viola. Great
Yeah, but-
dancer, beautiful. You know.
Yeah, Viola. Yeah, and her power is kind of broken.
Nah, Lola.
Yeah, that's what I was about to
That's
say.
true.
Lola.
Could you
all the way.
imagine being married to her though? Like, you go out to the bar
She knows everything.
and you have like 5 to 6 beers, and then you drive home, and she's like, "How many drinks you have?" And you're like, "1." She's like, "You fucking liar! Don't you lie to me right now."
I mean, do you know that with her fruit, she can know where you are also. She has her inside where she looks from
Exactly.
afar. So it's like
Exactly. That's what
she'll
I'm
just
saying.
call you, says, "Where are you?" "Oh, I'm at the store." "Flyer, I say you're at the bar. I'm looking at you right now."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh
I'm
shit."
watching you. Who's that girl you're talking to? I know it. No. Oh goodness. So, since I wasn't here to hear your takes on Kuma, how do you feel about him now with everything we've learned?
About who?
Kuma.
Come on.
I mean, same thing. I think that Oda made a great job of like just throwing us off. Like we had no idea. Like nobody. I never saw one person who made a theory about him having this backstory or having like a dark past and him being a saint. Nobody could have predicted that. It's crazy how like I love when like nobody's right about something and Oda just prove us wrong. I love that, and I think that he's like top favorite characters. Like he's in my top 5 now. Like he's such an amazing character, well written, and I cannot wait for him to have the best closure ever. I'm pretty sure Oda is gonna cook with that. I just love him so much now, and I feel so
Yeah.
bad for him.
So do I. Because like I said, I got caught up at the end of Wano, so Egghead's my first arc that I'm gonna read from start to finish current. And when Bonnie, I almost said Johnny, when Bonnie dropped out that Kuma was her dad, it blew my mind. Because I didn't think that at all, and I had just read the entire story, so it was fresh in my mind. I knew he was probably going to be somewhat more important because he was a mysterious character, then he protected their ship and stuff. But the whole Bonnie revelation, then seeing his past and the Buccaneer stuff, like it rattled my entire world. But you're right, no one called that. We all thought he might be like some part giant or something, but no one called how deep of a backstory this man was going to have.
Oh my god, no.
And you've got to
Right.
give it up. You got to give it up, especially with this flashback. We're understanding his personality change. You got to give it up for Oda for introducing Kuma at a time where his personality would have shift. Because I remember when Sabo was talking about him, I think at the Reverie, with those flashbacks moments. And I always said it's so weird because the Kuma we were shown up until Marineford, or even post time skip, did not fit those flashbacks of Koala and Sabo of Kuma. You know what I mean? Like he was the sweetest member of the Revolution Army, always making us laugh. And then when you see him in Marineford, he doesn't even look at, then we found out his memory was changed. Like, you have to give it for Oda, introducing a character where his personality was about to change, So we couldn't, predict that level for Kuma. I always feel like, so that's also...
And speaking on current events, Egghead and everything, do you think that Garp is dead, or do you think the pirates are saving him, to trade him or something like that?
So, only because Aokiji is there, I don't think he's dead. I think Aokiji is gonna fake his death, just like he did with Saul, in the past for Ohara. But the thing is, how well he'll be able to do that, I don't know. If Garp is gonna end up dying because of a mistake or something. But I think that Aokiji is not killing him. It's not Aokiji who's killing him. Aokiji is gonna try not to kill him, in my opinion.
And then I have a follow-up question to that. Who do you think won't make it to the end of the story right now?
I don't know why, but I have a bad feeling Shanks won't make it to the end of the story. But I hope not, because I want to see that interaction between him and Luffy, because I think that, Luffy looks up to him, and I think it would be very cool to have this nice interaction at the end. Otherwise, I feel like Akainu's dying too. But end of story. Like he's dying because of and I have my stocks on Fujitora to become the next fleet admiral. And who do I think is dying as well? I would say otherwise, Vegapunk. I can see Vegapunk dying. But otherwise, major characters, I can't really think of anybody. That's it, I think.
Vegapunk will be get what you deserve moment.
Yeah, it's leaning that way, at least for me. I know he has his fans, but I'm a detractor. I don't like the guy. I mean, I do, I don't know. He's such a conflicting character. Not Dofi style conflicting, just conflicting. What do you think the incident at Egghead is going to be?
The what?
The incident at Egghead Island that's going to shake the world that they've been teasing in the manga now?
What do you mean I'm sorry.
I think he's trying to say incident. Your mic is going a bit off. Your mic is going a bit off.
But the incident, but I mean, it's a buster call. It's going, and I don't know if it's gonna get Lucia at the end of the day, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna go. It's I feel like it's gonna be I don't know if it's gonna be as big as the God Valley incident, but I think it's gonna be close to that, and they will have to talk about it, because it's first of all, Morgan, he's super good at finding stuff out by himself, so that's not a problem. And second thing, I think they will Lulusi it. So it's pretty much. I'm pretty sure that there's gonna be a mother flame coming on them, and it's going to eradicate the whole island. It has to be, because there's so much information there. There's so much stuff over there. They have to erase everything.
Yeah, it needs to be cleansed.
Yeah. It's gonna be another Ohara, another Lulusia. It's just gonna repeat itself.
Yeah, I agree on that. I just think the one thing that'll be changed between God Valley and Ohara, I think this one, everyone will know about it. Because the fact that they talk about it in newspaper, this one event. And so I think you're right. And I just think this one, why this will change everything, most likely because of York. Everyone's going to find out what happened on that day.
I agree.
Yeah, that would be the change,
Yeah.
And I have a question, and it's we'll remove Saturn from that equation, because we're getting a lot of info of him. From the remaining 4 gorosei that we have, just based off your impression, no research, just you. Which of the 4 gorosei are you more, of those 4 remaining, are you interested to find out more about?
I guess the youngest one, because he's the youngest one. So why are they all old but him? What is up with this guy? And also agriculture, that's so weird. I need to know what the hell is this man about. But the one that looks the coolest is probably the samurai, just because everybody looks cool when they have a sword, so I want to know more about him. But the one that is that I feel like is gonna throw us all off is the youngest one, just because why is he the only young one, But yeah, these 2 I would say.
He's Shepherd Jew Peter. That's the young one, right? Ethan Shepard Jupiter.
I think so. I think so. Something like I don't remember his name, but
His name is not Ethan, but it's Jupiter. You're right. It's Jupiter.
yeah.
Ethan is Nojuro, the samurai. Ethan Barrett.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm interested by the long one that looks like Ganfall because, for me, they're doing it on purpose not to have him talk. And the one time he talked, he literally when Clover talked about an ancient kingdom, he literally mentions them. Like he's the only actually of the gorosei. When you give his answers, he's giving stuff about the past. The others are just tight-lipped. Like and he's always the one never talking. The first is a way of all of them. And I think it was with I don't know which one. One of the two gorosei, he was one of them. He was one of the two who did not move forward to go through to see Imu. He was behind.
That's
I feel like
crazy.
there's something interesting. I'm not saying he's a traitor. I just think he's interesting, And then you think of his title. He handles environment. In the world of One Piece, environment is a key role for everything in the theme.
Yeah.
I find it very interesting.
I don't know, man. Top Man Workery has got my vote. I think he's cooking something. I think he is like the main gorosei member. Like he is always sitting down. He's always doing this, and he's like he's cooking something up. And I think his is the devil fruit I'm most excited to see, just from his positioning in that panel where we saw their shadows.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, even his hubris and his name, they're all supposed to be equal. But his nickname is the top man. Like just the hubris. He needs to be the, maybe it's him say I'm the top man. Like the ego already of that character. You can sense it.
Yeah, he wants to be the top man.
Literally, yeah.
I love that. So do you think, though, since we're talking about the gorosei members, do you think that Saturn, or just the gorosei in general, that they have devil fruit powers, or do you think it's something else?
I feel like the thing is, like, I don't know if Oda should like introduce a new like power system like this late in the story. It would be cool if it was like a mythical like a super special type of devil fruit that is like the closer to being a devil, like one of like you have the mythical zone type. Like this one is like the closest that you can get to a devil. It could be that, but if you want to introduce a new power system, it could be that they're devil themselves, they're the fruit themselves, or something like that. That could be like something I can see happening.
That I like that you said that, because I've been talking about it for months. I've been working on a theory for a long time that is about how they're devils and deals with the devils and things like that. So that's where I'm leaning as well. Because it just, the summoning circle is what throws me off every time. I'm like, why did he come out of a circle like that? Is this Full Metal Alchemist?
But that's the thing. That's why it's kind of weird.
It's like he had to summon his powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Brandon King in the chat. Top man out here with the Mega Man name. You got to be hiding something. It made me chuckle. I ain't gonna lie. Ugh, Cube. Good times. All right, so boys, I need more questions. I won't lie. Chat, flood me up. Hit me up with questions.
Actually, I have a question, and it's, you don't have to have the exact name. You can say which one was wielding it. Do you have a favorite sword in One Piece? Of a
favorite
sword.
What?
A sword or blade.
Sword?
Any favorite blade?
I think that Sandai Kitetsu is the prettiest one, but I think that Emma is like the coolest one, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I vibe on the Yoru. I'm sorry. Those jewels in the handle.
I actually have Sandai Kitetsu. I bought it.
Oh, no.
What?
Whoa, that's cool. That's great.
Yeah. That's why I like it. It's red. It's very cool looking. The design is amazing.
I think this kind of falls into a question we already asked, but Brandon King asked if you could bring one devil fruit into the real world, what would it be?
I think I answered that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it's a question we already asked. I believe it was the Opi Opi no Mi, and then there was two other answers as well.
The Blueno fruit. I think it's like Dor fruit. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, the Doa
and the ice fruit.
Yes. Yeah, I love the Dor fruit. That was the first, because I do the devil fruit ranking series, and that was one of the first devil fruits I had. I started like researching it and looking at it. I was like, This thing creates a pocket dimension entirely.
No, but this is just like it's like the most useful one. Like
Yeah.
literally, you can go anywhere, anytime. You don't waste no time at transportation.
Oh yeah, if a fruit gives you some type of super mobility boost, automatic, like that's
Automatic.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a win. It's a win. Goodness.
Actually, I might have a follow up on Del Fruit, and it's just spur of the moment. And since you have your content so different on different animes, let's see Mythical Zoan. If you can have a Mythical Zoan of another character from another anime that you could bring in the One Piece verse, which Mythical Zoan would you have? Like, I don't know, the Deku no Mi, and you would be just like Deku from My Hero.
I see. I mean, I feel like the obvious answer would be like Saitama. like who's winning against me, you know?
The punch fruit.
I mean, you know that's a bit broken. It's a bit broken, I guess.
It's like having the Saiyan no Mi.
Yeah.
He's going around flying and shooting Kamehameha waves at people.
I think with that Devil Fruit, I'm not sure, I'm not an expert in Devil Fruit, but I'm pretty sure that if you go like in full form, you might get bald. You might go bald. There's a big chance you might go bald.
Oh yeah.
With great power comes great risks. It's fine.
Wigs exist as well, so like.
Yeah, I know, right? Right?
Yeah, there we go. Now I'm imagining Saitama in a wig.
That's crazy. Oh, wait. Another good answer would be Gojo. Gojo's powers are very, very cool.
Domain expansion.
Just finished. It's just finished. You know, I was like, well, actually, I'll say this: any member of the Zoldyck family in the Mythical Zone is a top tier win, because just think of they're immune to poison. One kid is able to generate electricity. The grandfather could literally, create a dragon out of nothing. Like, I feel like the Zoldyck family Mythical Zone class could be interesting as well.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone in Hunter x Hunter, actually. They have crazy powers there.
There's a good question in the chat. So would you start your own crew, or would you be one to join one? But if you would start it, what would you call it, and what would the flag be like?
I would personally join. It's not that I don't like to lead. I'm not a good leader. I led in my life, but I feel like I'm better at organizing things than like necessarily making decision. I'm better at giving advice. I don't like to have the spotlight and to be the center of attention. So I think I would be better as a commander or something like that. So I would personally, I would go with, let me see.
So basically,
it's either between Whitebeard or Shanks, but I would have to pick Whitebeard just because I love how he takes care of his family. Yeah.
Ugh. I miss you, Whitebeard.
Oh, me too.
I know, right? Like, you said that, all I thought about was when he was like, was I a good dad to you? And it was like,
oh, stop. I can't.
Oh, goodness. Goodness. Kube, Fritz, I won't lie. I got sick baby, so I do have to go. If you guys want to take over and finish out the interview for me. I just want to thank you again, Hime, for being here. I'm sorry I have to go early.
Thank you for inviting me. It was very fun.
And just to kind of give a little bit of promo before I go, we will see Hime and Chestnut again, from what I understand, on January 5th for our Chad and Rolls podcast. I'm very excited about that. I will warn you, Chad Rolls is very out of pocket. We talk a lot of anime, not just One Piece, so it's going to be a good time, though. It's going to be a great time.
We love it. We love it.
Yes, love it. And I will see you boys later. And to the audience, thank you very much for coming today. And continue with these good people. And we'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Cool.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, see you, man. So, yeah, you know what? I'm going to show you a fastball. So, because someone asked this question, so you have to remove Buggy being king of the pirates, or king of the world, or Ace surviving. If you could change If you could change one plot line in the world of One Piece, like make a pivot on something, what would it be?
You know what? I wouldn't change Ace's death, because I thought it was the most beautiful death, and he had the best closure to his character, and he was able to get this breakthrough through his death. And I think that Luffy wouldn't be the man he is if it wasn't for that, and people wouldn't believe in the One Piece as much if it wasn't for that. So I think we needed that. We needed that for the story to progress. So that's why I wouldn't change that. I think that it would like ruin the whole story. So I guess a plot line that I would change, I would definitely change, is Shanks losing his arm to like to the fish. I think that like I understand where they're coming from. The editor wanted something dramatic, and maybe like again, Shanks could have done this on purpose to gain Luffy's trust. But I feel like Shanks didn't need to do that because Luffy already looked up to him.
Yeah.
He could have just saved him normally. So I would change that because people always use that like, oh, the man who got low diff by a fish. Like I'm like, oh my god, shut up. You know, like I'm tired of hearing this shit. You know, so I would change that.
Absolutely. What about you, Q?
Honestly, there's one plot line that so many times always bothers me, and it's the what's called the better explanation for the Sabo not remembering everyone and just remembering the memory comes just by looking at the newspaper. Like I understand the thing, but I feel like a manga or anime, it doesn't. You know, like if it's your brother that way, you would have seen images of Ace, you know, many times, you know, or when he got captured. Why didn't you remember him when he got captured? You only remembered him, you know, post his death. So I feel like this could have been maybe delivered a bit better. You know, Sabo getting his memories back. You know, it's, for me, it's still, you know, like it's One Piece, so it's an answer. But you know, when you think about your brother, right? You're so close to your brother, and you see him, all the information about him always on the newspaper, and you only remember him after his death. You know, for me, that's weird. Like maybe when he was captured, he could have, you know, it would have jogged at that maybe at that moment.
Yeah, because he was pretty infamous, right up
Yeah.
to the end.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
can
think?
see.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird for Sabo, but then, you know, maybe Oda will explain later on why that the death had an impact. Yeah, and what about you, Fritz? Do you have a plot line that you like, other than skipping Thriller Bark, obviously, because I know you're a big
There
love
was-
for that arc.
I don't know about skipping it, but there was so much stuff that was going on that was more like a comic relief to me. That really there could have been some other things in there to kind of like build up who they are, what they are. You know, like I don't really think there was much gained in the entirety besides getting their shadows back. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one scene in Thriller Bark we could have skipped over is the whole bath scene with Absalom. That was just
Yeah, that was like
unnecessary.
continuous, repeating.
Yeah,
things
that was
over and
so
over.
like it was so like
Lola is peak though, so that's fine.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, honestly, like Thriller Bark is one of these arcs that like you have to revisit to actually enjoy, if you didn't enjoy it at first.
Yeah.
And it's something that I learned like by revisiting the arc. I really like the comedy was peak comedy.
The comedy was the zombie scene was it's so funny. How Luffy
Yeah.
thinks that just pushing the zombie back will make him go away, and even the guy
Yeah, that
is
was
so,
hilarious.
he's so offended. The funny thing is how offended he was by being pushed down.
But first,
That was the funny thing,
but
yeah.
before all that, first you had to list the Binks' brew like 50 times in a row, and then you had to go on a straight comical gag, little bit of seriousness, comical gag after comical gag. You know, Zoro's fighting a guy that used to be one of the greatest swordsmen. Okay, it just was.
Yeah.
It was a very mixed bag for me.
I get it.
Yeah. And so we have a question in the chat from Velicor. I'm sorry if I said it badly. Where would you like to have been raised if you were in the One Piece world? So I think on a specific island, or maybe a group of people. But
On a specific island? Is there an island that I really, really liked? Let me see. Huh. I don't even know. This is a very good question. You guys can answer first, I'll think.
yeah, I'm actually thinking I have.
Oh, okay. I would say Water 7. It's such a beautiful
That's what I
island.
was about to say.
Yeah, I think Water 7 is beautiful. It's just the architecture. Personally, the one that I think is the prettiest and coolest is Sabaori, but I don't want to live on Sabaori because it's like so fucked up, you know. But like the nicest one that I think that is like the least worst of like many of them is Water 7. It's like, you know, the technology there. It feels like industrial. It feels like the futuristic. So I would love there. I would love to be there.
Actually, my answer is that it's so easy because it's so unique. We don't have that place in our world, and it's Skypiea or Shandora.
My problem with Skypiea is like I wouldn't want to live under like NL's like ruling.
Obviously, I'm taking in a world post NL. These out.
Oh yeah. You know, Skypiea is very cool too.
I love
Yeah.
how everybody's just so chill about it.
Yeah.
True. What about you, Fritz? Do you have a specific island? Well, you also said Water 7, but I don't know if you have another ones in Water 7.
There's also what I can't remember the name of the island. I can't remember I can remember what was the island that had like the reciting water and like all the dragons. It had the dragons appear.
Dragons appear?
Wait,
Yeah.
what did you say?
It was super early. There was an island where like there was a big dragon who was trying to find an island, but he couldn't remember where it was. Right?
Yeah, the one with the girl and the white dragon. I remember.
Yeah, he was trying to
It's a
remember
filler
where it
episode.
was, and it turned out he was there. It just no longer looked like that.
I
can't
see what
remember
you
the
mean.
name. I can't remember.
Yeah,
the
I don't
name of
remember
it.
as well.
It was like way early, so like.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I see exactly. Yeah, it was one of the filler arcs. I know, beginning of the Grand Line, if I'm not mistaken. That's an interesting one. Yeah. So, and well, there's actually an interesting question. What's your favorite One Piece device or material beside hockey and devil fruits? He gave examples like dials, bubbly corals, waffle metal, etc.
Wait, what is your favorite device?
Device or material?
In One Piece? Oh my god, we're getting into technical questions.
I can give
I
my
guess
answer.
my favorite device has to be the Den Mushis. I think it's so cool.
They're so versatile.
I mean, how do they even work? Like, it's so cool.
And then they say it's real simple to get it going. Like when he needed to make a new dial or like a new den for communicating, and they had a slug. So who was it? They were gonna set it up for him real quick. It's like it's real simple for him, but it's like, how is something like that so simple?
Yeah.
Or the double six when they're moving the German Kingdom, they're moving island and they're just super big dens.
Yeah. That's a weird.
The lock pose. The lock pose. I think they're very cool.
Yeah. For me, it's the raid suits. I'm sorry.
Ooh, that's such a good answer. Yeah, I love that.
If I choose a specific, I get a special ability. You have a cool. Well, Sanji's one was a cool design from what we saw in Whole Cake. You know, his raid suit was really cool design. So it could be interesting. You know.
Yeah, I can see that.
The question is, what ability I'll have with that? That's the big question. I think it'll be something like flight or something, or teleportation. For me, if I get a power with the raid suit, it has to be about transport. The rest I can train.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna see. So this was the last question. Wait, we exactly have another. Oh no, it's someone. Oh, okay, no, it's actually a question. Just there was no question mark. Velicor asks, do you think Gear 5 activated when Luffy's heart stopped? And if so, could have activated when he was drowning? Okay. He's wondering if the reason why Shanks saved Luffy when he was a kid is he was scared that it would be too early. He would activate his Gear 5 if he knew about the fruit.
I don't think his fruit could be activated inside of water because of like the water sea, the sea water. So I think he would have just died, but that's just my headcanon theory. I think he saved him just to gain his trust, to be honest. And also, like, again, the editor made it like it wasn't even Oda's choice. So it was the editor who asked Oda to make a super like dramatic scene. I don't think it would have. Again, the sea water. I don't think it would have happened. So yeah, no.
Yeah, if you think about, well, I know Fritz is intrigued into Wano, but if you remember the Big Mom memory stuff, it happened because she got hit in the sea. So in a sense as well, like we know C act weirdly with Elford users, so I don't think it's that big of a head canon that I think for me the C just block certain frequency with Elfords in the body, so it doesn't shock me that.
Otherwise, it's not logical anymore. We've been like taught this, you have to follow a logic and a rule. You can't just make exception at the end and like switch everything up just because. You have to keep the same logic everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and actually, I have a question: is if you can choose a matchup, let's say tomorrow, the next chapters will be about this matchup, this fight. Which two characters would you love to see fight?
Okay, but like within what's happening with the story now, or like a two matchup that I would want just to see.
No. Let's say that Egghead is over. Let's say that the characters that you've seen who have died are also alive. Okay, it could be any character.
I want to see the Rocks versus Garp and Roger, bro. That's all. I am fiending. I am like begging. Like, are we ever gonna get that?
We deserve it.
Listen, I will cry if we don't. Literally will cry if we don't.
So
yeah.
With that logic, and then I'll let Fritz go afterwards, but with that logic, my favorite is, obviously I'm going to say this, ever since he said it at Kaino, the Magu will always be inferior to the Mera. I want to see a Sabo and a Kaino fight. We've got to see it. We deserve to see that. And get vengeance for our bro Ace, Let's not forget. Hashtag never forget about Ace. I want everyone to leave in the comments hashtag Ace. Thank you, everyone. But however, there's one fight I want to see in fully, and it's the Blackbeard and Ace fight. I feel like there was something, like you did bring up with the anime with Boy Hancock, and the way he needs to do what he needs to do to defeat her. And I do feel like, and it's something very interesting. Whenever he uses the Yami, Oda makes sure to skip over the scene of Blackbeard. We don't see what he's doing, and like I feel like there's a twist. Because the way we're seeing of Ace with the Ace novel, he was that powerful more and more. And there's something that always bothers me with Blackbeard's fighting abilities. All the rest, he is him. But I feel like he kind of makes me think in a way like this could say it. I feel like he's between the personality trait of Buggy and between Luffy. Luffy is very confident. Buggy is everything but confident if he has a plan. And if you see it, Blackbeard, whenever it doesn't go as a plan, same example with Aokiji, he starts to panic. So I think of Whitebeard. He acts, and it made me think of a friend of mine, actually. It came from a friend of mine. When the Aokiji scene, he told me, if you look at it, he kind of gave Buggy vibes with Aokiji when he got scared. Oh, it's my friends. I was just kidding. You don't have to take offense. Can you undo them? Same thing of Whitebeard. He is mocking him, acting just like Luffy, so confident. And then the moment it doesn't work, he's begging, I'm your son, you won't hurt me, So I do feel like, there's something off about him, In a sense, he's a bit of a fraud in his personality. He's acting in a way that he isn't. I feel with him,
He's so mysterious. I'm gonna be honest, like, I love how Oda is like, this is something that I wish Dragon had. With Blackbeard, we get a little bit of something. Every time we see him, we get like a little part of the puzzle, slowly. Like for Dragon, I feel like we've been like he's been set up so much, and like each time we received nothing, and then at some point now we received something, but like we've been so frustrated until we got something that it's not as well written as Blackbeard, which we don't know much about, but it's just like he's given us slowly, little by little, which like keeps us interested in him. So this is what I love about Blackbeard's character, that it's done correctly when it comes to a mysterious character, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And what about you, Fritz? Do you have a fight you would love to see in the World One Piece?
I need to see the rest of the fights first. I've been going hard. I've been watching like 6, maybe 7 shows. Been trying to hit One Piece in the middle of it. I'll tell you what. I'm in a good spot. I'm seeing.
I mean, you caught up. You're in Wano, so that's already good.
And everything else is just sugar on top.
Yeah. For me, the Ace and Blackbeard, I feel like there's a twist. And it's always find it very weird on how Ace. It's not only that he was defeated; he was destroyed mentally. Like there was something about Ace afterwards that, if you think about it, it's frightened. You know what I mean? Like he was an Impel Down. He had no hope. He just gave up on life. You know. And we know that Luffy inspires people. I feel like there was something about Blackbeard that just sapped all his ambition. You know what I mean? Just crushed him. I don't know. But yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, no. And I was gonna ask. It's very interesting. Can you list me your least favorite Straw Hat to your favorite Straw Hat? We're gonna make a twist to that.
Least favorite to favorite. I think it's easier if I go from favorite to least favorite, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah.
So favorite, Nami. I really, really like her. I think she's super, super important to the crew. But I just love her interactions. I love everything about her. And she's like so like what she showed in Wano, how she was standing up against Kaido. She didn't care, and like I just like you can see that she really like she's loyal. A lot of people like question her loyalty, but I don't understand why. Next in line, I would say. I mean, by the way, obviously I'm gonna take off Luffy because Luffy is the best Straw Hat.
Yeah, of course.
Next in line, I would say the one that I enjoyed the most. I really love Sanji. I think that he's one of the best written character in One Piece as a whole. Like he's competing like up there with Luffy. Like I'm not even joking. Afterward, I'll have to go with Zoro. I used to hate how static he is, but then when I saw him, how he's able to like ground Luffy, put him back in his place, and give him actual advice and be like super mature about things, like and his work ethic. I really love all of these things about him, and I can relate to that. So I put him third. Afterward, it gets a bit like it's not that like further apart. Everybody becomes more equal, but I'll have to put afterward. Let me see. I like Brook. I know people find his sense of humor weird, but I like Brook. I would say then who do we have? I do like I guess the rest, like Jinbei, Robin, Usopp, Frankie, everybody else is like, for me, it's like equal. Like I like them. They don't get enough screen time for me to be attached to them as much as the ones that I spoke about. Like we can see who Oda has favorites, you know. So unfortunately, because of like the lack of screen time and the fact that I cannot connect with them as much, they had their arc, but afterward, like it was just radio silence. So that's why I unfortunately don't have them at the top, but it doesn't make them not as good characters.
Of course.
Yeah.
What about you, Fritz? Do you have a list of, well, you do like her from favorite to least favorite?
Favorite to least favorite? Excluding Luffy, I think I'm gonna have to put Frankie. Frankie's on top. I'm gonna put Zoro in front of Sanji. Nami's in there. She's definitely over her journey from the beginning of being pretty much self-centered about trying to keep to herself so that she can just keep to her own goals, to being pretty much an anchor that holds pretty much everybody together. Nami before Robin. And Brook and Chopper just kind of hanging out. Hanging out in the rear end for me.
Oh, I forgot about Chopper. So sorry.
So my list is pretty easy. Don't worry, I didn't forget about Chopper. Chopper's number one, but it's just personality. For me, he's the heart of the crew. Like I've said this, the one thing that made me maybe drop One Piece is Chopper dies.
Oh God.
For me, I think it's one of those things you cannot do. It's like, some shows, and it's like killing Hagrid in Harry Potter. That's how I see it, So Chopper number one, Nami, then it's Sanji and Zoro together. I feel like Sanji is one of the most well-written Straw Hats, but I also feel like Zoro he's interesting because he's not written in a different way as the Straw Hats. And Oda, like, even his backstory, he doesn't edit BS, and then he says, "Oh, I didn't know you were that interested about Zoro." So we know that there's a twist with Zoro. Like he's going to get a moment where we're gonna understand why Oda has been reserving him. then for me it's what's it called it's Frankie, Robin, and Brooke are in the same rank together. And it's not I don't like him. I just feel like he's already given everything. He's already a complete character, and that's Jinbei. Like for me, Jinbei, I love the character,
I forgot
but
to
compared to all the
place
Straw
it,
Hats,
but yeah.
yeah. But that's a weird thing about Jinbei, because think about it, he is a Straw Hat, but when you think about everything, well, with Jinbei, he's lived everything, so it's not like he has to. He went through the same thing they went through, and he already has a level, you know. So like for him, it's always clear and cut, you know. You don't need to have 3 episodes for a fight with him. You just get 1 episode, because you know he knows what to do. He's already went through it, you know. While Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy all the time have to, oh shit, there's this obstacle. What can I do? You know.
I'd say
So
like
it's like
I could say it's like how you said, Jinbei's already kind of lived a life, and Brook, him himself, he did live a life. The rest of them are on a journey that is engulfing the rest of their future. Whether or not they achieve what they're after and their ambitions or not.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, yeah. So, and I think you know, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna ask a couple more questions, and then we're gonna call for a wrap. And this is actually an interesting, because especially since you do a lot of content with Chestnut, and it doesn't need to be hers, but is there a One Piece theory that you've heard that you wish that it's true?
I want Buggy to be Rock's son. I am so self-serving when it comes to theory. I want my king Buggy, and I want Buggy to also be crowned as the king of the pirate by mistake, of course, because obviously the true one is Luffy. I want that to be true also, just to stunt on everybody who thought it wouldn't happen.
I could second that for real.
Ah, my king. Yeah, oh, by the way, look. Yeah, okay. So just okay.
Yeah.
So I bought. I went with my friend. He told me that he saw some gacha One Piece figure like boxes where like you can get any character, and it told me I'm gonna buy you one. I picked one. It was like all the warlords, okay, and like on my first try, I got Buggy.
Nice.
If this
Nice.
isn't fake, I don't know what it is. I even filmed me opening it up like it was
Put
the
that
first
up
time
there
ever.
again. Put
Yo,
that up
I'm
there
telling
again.
you. Wait, Lord.
Oh, that's
Nice.
fire. That is so fire.
Yeah.
Why is
Yeah.
he missing an eye? Why is he missing
No.
an eye?
It's an edition called the Dissectables, and it's like all of them are half skeletons. There's
okay,
also the Straw
okay.
Hats. There's many. Yeah. So
Okay,
I'm just saying it was fate. It was fate. This is all about luck. I couldn't have foreseen. I was so happy.
That's like
I screamed.
yeah,
I
life's
screamed.
complete.
Yeah. And well, for me, there's honestly, I'm gonna say this. It's a theory. For me, I think it's fact. Mihawk is a son of Shaki and Rayleigh. This has to
Oh
be
my
true.
god! But
know,
the
even-
timeline
even-
doesn't make sense. The timeline.
But it does
The
make
timeline.
sense. Shaki
But
took a
Isn't
What?
Mihawk like in his 50, 40?
No, he's 40. He's 43. Shaki said over 40 years ago she retired. And look at that flashback of the Odin flashback. If you look at Rayleigh,
Yeah,
the way of style, and even the sideburns. Shaki has sideburns.
Okay. Why isn't he talking to his parents?
But that's the thing. I think what they're doing is Oda's doing a thing of those are sweet characters that we see very briefly. So I feel like we're gonna get it. And also the fun thing that's interesting is people say, "Oh, what was it in Odin's flashback?" He was exactly 18 years old when we saw Odin's flashback. So he could have been in an age where he was already in his own adventure. Because a year later on, what do we see him at 19 years old with a Yoru and already a pirate? So that's why for me it would make so much sense, and it would understand why Zoro and Rayleigh have the same scar on each side, because Zoro got that scar by training in Mihawk's Island. That is a huge island. I'm already telling you, Mihawk's Island. It's an island where they had those hunting games. Just think of the story. Yeah, sorry, it's a bracket in it, but just think of it. An event that wiped out everyone. So much atrocities that the monkeys mimic the atrocity that they saw that day of humanity. But anyways, so I feel like it would make sense why Zoro and Rayleigh have the same scar if they basically got it on the same island, you know. There's something about this island, you know, so like, so that's why for me is, it would be an interesting twist and it would make so much sense. And also it would validate also like the level of Mihawk, the level of Rayleigh's hockey. It would explain so much. And then it would also explain with the Mihawk stuff, you know. Even Mihawk's whole thing of, I don't want to be a Yonko. I don't want that big of a thing. It would explain, I always said, I think Mihawk, if he is the son of Rayleigh, it would explain why he doesn't like the popularity. Because maybe at the time when he was young, because of his father, he had, you know, he never had a moment of rest. His whole thing is, I just want to be left alone. I just want to be left alone, you know. But anyways, yeah. What about you, Fritz? From all the theories you've heard us spit or you've heard this thing, you know, like, is there a theory that you really, really like?
I know. I've been watching more and more theories, trying to get into it. Where the theories, there's a lot of them that are clear cut, and there's some of them that really feel like they're, you know, agenda based. But when I don't really have a specific one that I can just think off the top of my head right now that I could just be like, yeah, this is the one.
Yeah, well, I can already tell you which one is a very bad theory, and anyone who defends that, you should go see Vegapunk to maybe help you out, and that is a Crocomon theory. I'm sorry.
That's what it was in the chat, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I just saw it. I just saw that. Yeah, the Crocomon theory, and for all those who want to defend it, the basis of why Crocodile doesn't remember Luffy, if he's indeed his mother, is because he never knew Dragon's last name. Wow. So yeah, that's for me the worst theory in the whole world. You know, how can you, you know? But yeah, I don't know, like, Fritz, if you have another question for Hime, and if anyone in the chat has a few more questions, you know, it's like...
What are your plans? What are your plans? Here in a couple of days, we're hitting the holidays. What are your plans? Do you have anything exciting?
True.
Or is it just shutting down and being with family? What is it?
So like life-wise, I would say other than content creation, obviously, for the holidays, like celebrating Christmas. I have my birthday actually that is on the 26th December. It's like in 6 days. And also New Year's is gonna be very fun, but also like preparing for like the next year. There's so much content, so much stuff, so much anime, so much is happening in the anime community. Like we have so much to go through, me and Chestnut. So organizing like everything for that. But yeah, but also enjoying vacation and like the holidays.
Happy early birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
And Merry Christmas. We over here till it. I know the rest of them, they're not here, but I'm sure they would be wishing you the same as well.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, and so a day, your birthday is one day after Chopper's birthday. That's a big day. That's
yeah.
No, honestly, it's good. No, I think the holiday season. It's always good, you know. Yeah, next year is gonna be a big year for sure.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I actually have a question. Like, because now we're talking about a holiday. Does it happen to you sometimes where you just need to take like a couple of days off of just creating content, just to, you know, to relax?
Oh yeah, break days, self. This is, I think Chestnut called him like self, like take care day, like self days. I don't know how she called them, but like she said that, oh, you need to take those sometimes where you just sit down, you don't do anything, you just chill. Because what happens is I work, after work I do content creation. Like where do I, like, and every day, like I answer comments, I answer stuff, and I'm always like grinding. I don't have time to like just like chill and do nothing. Like there was some days, very rare, where I post nothing, and I was like, today I'm not doing anything. And these were like
weird.
These were little, but these felt like you feel guilty.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, oh my god, this is what freedom is. You know, because you're like, it's okay. It's okay. And one time I even apologized to like my followers. I was like, I'm so sorry today I didn't post, and everybody was like, what do you mean? We're here for you. Like you can take days off and everything. We'll support you and stuff like. And I received so many nice messages. So like honestly, don't overwork yourself. Don't get yourself to a burning stage. No matter what you do, it doesn't have to do content creation. You need to take days off and just do nothing. Wasted time, like no. If you so wait, the saying is if wasted time that you enjoyed like wasting is not wasted. So if you were enjoying yourself while procrastinating, it wasn't wasting and procrastinating because you took care of your mental health and yourself and you took a break.
Being
Yeah.
held
Yeah.
hostage
I
by
see.
success.
Yeah.
And thank you for everybody who's saying happy birthday inside of the chat. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not. Oh,
I'm sure I'm ready. What I'm not ready for is all the new year, new me's and the posts on social medias, and knowing that
I mean,
knowing they ain't going to change.
are we surprised?
But
it's always the
it's
it's
been
always the
wonderful
new year,
having you
new me.
here. Absolutely been a
Yeah.
blast, for real.
Yeah.
Can't thank you enough for being here. You've been great. I don't know what else I don't even know what else to ask. You every time you come on here, you start it's either when we're asking you personal questions or when you're getting deep into the One Piece. You always have so much to say, and I just want to thank you for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I try. Well, thank you for having me. Like, I feel like you guys also ask the right questions, and you're able to just like also the environment you guys create is so safe, it's so respectful, it's so welcoming. That like we just want to go off with you guys, and we can also sense how passionate you guys are as well. You know, and you're authentic to yourself. You're genuine. We can feel it. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah, I won't lie to you. It's like, especially since we know each other, especially for TOPT days, and we've talked privately. It's like that's like some of the personal questions that I saw before. I said, Lucas. Anyways, I know you're gonna ask them. I'm just gonna ask the One Piece questions because it's just weird. It would be weird for me to ask you some of the questions. So yeah, I like to have you on, but it's just very interesting with some of the. There's some stuff even in your personal questions that I didn't know how deep it was. I knew some of the stuff, but not everything. So we do appreciate you for being here, to be open, to feel safe, to feel safe enough to open yourself. I know it's not an easy thing.
Honestly, I'm telling you, when I started content creation, I was super shy. I wasn't able to talk in front of anybody. I was so self-conscious about my accent, about everything. And it just took the right people around me to like cheer me on, give me confidence. One of them was Chestnut. And it's just like with time, when you connect with amazing people and they just cheer you on and support you, it becomes easier to just be yourself.
True. That's true. True words.
Yeah.
So listen, we want to thank everyone who was able to be here for this interview. We appreciate you all. It's not the last stream of the year, but we do want to say to those who will be busy this weekend, we hope you all to have a happy holiday. And so you all know where you can find Hime on her TikTok. I'll let the plug, Hime, like this. You'll say it better than me.
Yeah,
So
well, I mean,
where can they
Ohime
find you?
Tenshi everywhere. Literally, my handle, Ohime Tenshi, on every platform possible is the same handle everywhere. Search it up and you'll find me.
We do have her
And then-
links in the description as well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So also Fritz, thank you for being here and streaming for us. And a big shout out to Lucas. Follow Lucas on TikTok. On Friday he does chan rolls. We have a firing tournament, not tier list, but discussion on chan rolls on Friday. So you guys should pop up. It'll be really cool.
Mhm.
But yeah. So thank you to all.
Thank you.
Thank you.